How's it going, everybody? Dr. Rob here, physical therapist and owner of Ascent Physical Therapy here in Long Island, New York, bringing you another episode of Tactical Tuesday. And tonight we are going to be talking about a bunch of different things that have to do with you finishing up your training season for the year as an endurance athlete and or an active adult in order to make sure that you guys do it right coming up in the 2022 season. It's already about time to get started on that new season. It's about time for you to start planning for that at least so that you're doing it right and making sure that you are staying healthy throughout that next season. But before we get into that tonight, I want to make sure that we are doing the right things and doing a little bit of laundry before we get started. So I've been away. I was away last week in a business conference. So learning how to do things a little bit differently and do things a little bit better. So I'm better able to serve you and my community and be able to give you guys what you guys need and give you the results that you need in the best way possible. Secondly, we do still have the referral reward program going on. So what that is making sure that you guys are getting help and also helping others as well. So if you have any family members, friends, colleagues, or somebody that you know and love that is dealing with aches, pains, or anything that is preventing them from living their best life, please send them over to me. I'd be more than happy to help. And as a thank you, you will be entered into the drawing where for this quarter we are doing a drawing for a Hypervolt massage gun. So if you are interested in that, please feel free to start sending people over and I'd be happy to talk with them and see if I am the best person to help them. If not, I'll send them to the next best person. Lastly, we are going to start doing different things around here, and we're going to start adding seminars and different webinars. So please be on the lookout for that and a little bit more in-depth education than what I do here every Tuesday. So please feel free to sit in and listen in on what we have going on. So let's get into it. So what are we talking about tonight? Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about making sure that you're getting set up for the next season. So what does that entail? What does that take to do? Part of it has to do everything with going over what we did last year. So that first point that I want to talk about is having to think about what went well this past year, what didn't go well this past year, and then writing it down so that you always have it. Sometimes, when we go through life, we always get caught up in what we're doing and we go from the day-to-day kind of activities and we start to lose what happened in the past year, and we start losing the fact that, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. Write it down and keep it consistent. So make sure that you're going back and reviewing that so that you know what went well and what didn't go well this past year. And also you can start to create a different plan for when you are going into this next coming year. So whether you are an endurance athlete, like a runner, cyclist, triathlete, whatever it is endurance-wise, if you are dealing with some issues, then this may be the best time for you to address them, especially if you're noticing there's a lot more things that didn't go well this past season than if something did go well. Same thing goes for my active adults out there or people who are trying to be more active. Talk about or write down things that, went well for you this year compared to the year before, things that you want to improve upon for the next year, and write it down. And then tell somebody. When you tell somebody, you're making yourself a little bit more accountable and you're holding yourself responsible for making sure that goal is achieved. The next thing I want to talk about is ensuring that you get the proper rest and recovery. There are plenty of athletes out there, and there's a lot of people in the endurance athlete community where they do go through and they do experience the fact that there is some level of, I need to keep going. I need to push harder. I need to give myself more pain in order to be stronger and harder as I go through this process and make sure that I am better than I was last year just because I'm working harder. And it doesn't necessarily work that way. Especially as we get older, working smarter, working more efficient, and being stronger in general without necessarily working harder is what's going to be best for you and doing it in the best way possible. Does that mean sometimes you may need to talk with a professional or work with a professional in order to get to that point? Yes, that's a possibility. Sometimes it could be just looking at the way you did things and changing that based off of what you've done in the past. as far as getting rest and recovery, make sure that after the end of your training season, if you're an endurance athlete, that you're taking the rest that you need. It's okay that you take 2 weeks off. It is okay that you sit around and do nothing. It's something that you not only can physically help yourself recover from, but it's also mental too. Being able to mentally recover from just the grind of doing the same thing in and out every single day in order to make sure that you are recovering mentally and making yourself a little bit more healthy in the sense that you don't have as much stress or strain that, oh, I need to get to this today. I need to get to that today. I didn't do this yesterday. Give yourself that time, take that break, do something different, even if it's not. So if you're a triathlete and your sports are, swimming, biking, and running, do something a little different. To go for a walk, go for a hike. It's that perfect season now where you can go for a run or you can go for a hike, and it feels great to just do something different than running, biking, or swimming. For my active adults who are trying to be more active, it's those things of trying to figure out what makes you happy and figuring out what activities you love to do so you can do more consistently. So those are a couple of things. And the last thing I want to talk about is use this time to make sure you get bulletproof. Now, what do I mean by that? As an endurance athlete, as an active adult, there are simple things that can throw us off the wagon, or there's different things or more difficult things that can make us go off of our training plan or off of our way, where we start to get a little bit more aches and pains, where we start to have more issues down the road, especially as we get into training. So using this time to use number one, like I mentioned, and making sure that we're jotting down what didn't go well and figure out what it's going to take to get well. So for example, if you're dealing with knee pain or you're dealing with hip discomfort or you were having difficulty with stability or you're finding yourself tripping a lot, use that time to get to the bottom of where that issue is coming from and tackle it. Make sure you're working on your strength, your stability, your endurance in that form, because endurance athletes, we gotta make sure that we're strong and stable. We need to make sure that we have the ability to apply force over a longer period of time. So using this time while we have downtime between now, winter, and into the spring, when we start our season, we start to get more sport specific, making sure that you are doing the appropriate tasks in order to make sure that you're staying strong, stable, and ready to make yourself bulletproof so you don't have to worry about injuries, aches, or pains. I hope these tips were helpful for you guys tonight, and I hope that this is something you can take away and apply for your upcoming season. If you are dealing with some things that didn't go well this past year and would like to make them a little bit better this coming year, you would need to talk to a specific professional, please feel free to comment down below, and I'd be more than happy to speak with you specifically about things. If you do want to talk with me a little bit specifically and you don't necessarily want anybody else to know that you want to talk with me, please feel free to just direct message me or give me a phone call using the phone number up top there, or use the email that's also up there if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or my Facebook page. If you're on Instagram, you can give me a call, 516-387-4669, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you about things. If there's anything else that I can help you with, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. If anything, I will check you guys on the next Tactical Tuesdays, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.